afternoon, everyone, and welcome to one of RVN's newer television shows, What the Why with Barbara Ann. Today we're live from
the Willow Creek Winery.
The Willow Creek Winery. I wish I was enjoying some right now, but I digress. Our show features conversations with diverse leaders from all walks of life about why they do what they do and how they figured out their purpose. And if you want to make a change in your life, this show is definitely for you. Whether you're looking for something different in your life or career, maybe you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're stuck and you want to get unstuck, all of our guests have something in common with you. They all felt that way at some point in their lives, and they figured it out. So whether you sought us out on purpose or you found us by accident, thank you for joining us. Our guest today was originally scheduled to be Joe Colantonio, but we had to make an unexpected change. Fortunately, so fortunately, today, in place of Joe Colantonio, I am so thrilled to welcome my ride or die best friend of over 30 years. We have been friends. We knew each other in the womb, right?
No, okay.
We'll go with that.
I'll accept it.
All right. Anyway, this is Maria O'Callaghan Cassidy, and she's more than just my ride or die best friend. She is an operations and facilities planning innovator. She is the chair of Women in Facilities Management, or WIFM, which is a great organizational name. She's also the co-chair of the Executive Committee for the Building Owners and Management Association, or BOMA. Maria is an achievement-oriented innovator who ensures efficient and cost-effective implementation of, lots of big words, implementation of simultaneous goals. She's driven. She's a creative problem solver. She's proficient in building resourceful teams with a strong customer-centric focus, and she supports skills enhancements for her teams and motivates others to strive for excellence. During her, we'll go with the over two-decade career that she began in grade school, in academia and in retail, Maria has managed as much as 1 million plus square feet of space, multi-million dollar operations, and additional multi-million dollar assets. In terms of capital budgets, she's handled external, national, and international leases. She holds a BA from Rowan University and an MS, or Master of Science, in Organizational Dynamics from the University of Pennsylvania. She's what does IFMA stand for?
International Facilities Management Association.
So she's an IFMA certified facilities manager and a sustainable facility professional, or an SFP. In addition to her roles of president of WIFN and the the chairperson, because this is a recent change. So as the chair of WIFN and the co-chair of BOMA, Maria serves on the Tyler School of Art and Architectural Facility Management Program Academic Advisory Board. In addition to all of that, Maria and her team have won awards for performance and leadership. She's a frequent guest speaker on topics such as operations and sustainability. And little known fact, you don't want to get her in a ring with this woman. She is a boxer. So without further ado, please welcome my very special guest, Maria O'Callaghan Cassidy.
Wow, that's a long intro. Thanks, Barb. Thanks for having me today.
You're so welcome. I know, it can be a little overwhelming when you hear it all put together like that.
That is a lot, yes.
So for those of us who have seen the show, everybody knows that I always start off with my first question in terms of what you wanted to be when you grew up. So you've done all these amazing things over the course of your career, but what is it that you wanted to be when you were growing up?
So my first goal was to be a superstar, an actress, and my backup plan was to be an FBI agent. So somehow I found my way into operations.
Yeah. Now, and an actress versus an FBI agent, they're very different things.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I think that there's a lot of similarities there. Clearly with actresses, you get to play lots of different people. And my opinion of the FBI back then was that you got to play lots of different people as well. So
That's true.
made sense. It was a clear jump from one to the other if they didn't work out.
And you did some really amazing things. I mean, you were really involved in theater. You did something with Disney at one point.
Yeah, I played Mary Poppins in Disney World when I was in high school for a brief stint. I think it was a day or two. And that was an experience. I got to see the whole underground workings of the park, and it was amazing. It is like a little city there. Amazing.
Awesome. And so from Disney to buildings, how did you find your path to facilities management?
Well, it's operations as well. So I started off in retail. Well, first I had a very successful babysitting business. Come on now, we can't forget that.
That counts. That
does count.
That shows that you were an entrepreneur from
Very
the get-go.
beginning. 12 years old. I had my own little lucrative babysitting business where I grew up in the development I grew up in. And then at 15, I took a job in retail operations. And from there, I was asked to join the Trump Castle organization because one of the customers said, you'd be great at the retail operations for Trump Castle. So at 17 years old, I became one of the retail managers at Trump Castle.
Yeah, and you managed like the whole facility or the retail operations.
Yep, I was the swing shift person. I graduated high school at 17, and that's when I took that job, and I went to school full time, and I worked the swing shift at the casinos for a little while. And then I started my own business. I went back to school. I changed schools. It's hard to focus when you're working overnight hours or swing shift. So I started my own business, and from there, I got to meet lots of different individuals, lots of different companies, and I helped a gentleman start his startup, basically a startup business, and that's kind of shaped my entire approach to work ethic ever since, where every decision has a consequence, especially when it's a small startup. And so I treat any organization that I work for as if I'm using my own money. So.
And then you find your way into the city of Philadelphia. Not that she didn't know where it is. She definitely knew where it was. But she found herself, her career path took her into the city of Philadelphia.
Yep.
And where she's been involved in operations and facilities management for some time.
Yes.
And one of the main reasons you're here today is actually to talk about your role as the chair of Women in Facilities Management.
Absolutely. Very passionate about, spreading the word. Women in facilities management, we just don't have the numbers. And we've lost a lot of strong female leaders or up-and-coming leaders during the pandemic. And one of the criteria for, recruiting women and keeping them in the field is through mentorship. And it's something that's very near and dear to my heart, is to make sure that I pay it forward. Not only pay it forward, but to make sure that I continue to learn. So I think we've talked many a times about being the forever student, always learning from conversations and sharing best practices, but really developing a program, and it's one of the things that I've worked on during my time on the board. I've been a member of the WIFM board for 5 years, and we're about to roll out a fantastic mentorship program. The beta is going out this summer, and we hope to roll it out to all 600 members. We have 600 members right now, yes, in the fall.
Wow. Now, for our audience who may not know what operations and facilities management is, could you please share with them some of what that entails and what you do?
Oh my goodness, yeah. So it depends on the organization that you work in. But typically facilities managers and operations managers, they wear many, many hats. They're the crazy people like me that take on all the stuff that nobody else wants to pick up and just handles it. It's usually housekeeping, security, projects, renovations, day-to-day operations, snow removal, deferred maintenance, you name it, space planning, furniture ordering, network, usually partner with the IT teams and make sure that you have the network infrastructure for your staff and your clients. So it's anything under the sun, depending on your organization.
So you've been involved in everything from building buildings to picking pictures.
Oh yeah, artwork, yes, absolutely, making investments, strategic investments in artwork, absolutely.
And I know that women tend to be underrepresented in some of these, in this industry, but I had no idea how underrepresented they were until you shared with me some of the statistics, some of the research.
Yeah, so right now, men outnumber women in facilities management, hands down. And it's a staggering number. Some estimates say that it's 9 to 1.
Wow.
So there's definitely a need. And what concerns me is that we know that the newer percentages haven't been rolled out yet, and we're still dealing in many cases with pre-pandemic numbers and percentages.
So things aren't really changing.
They are. I think we were making some progress prior to the pandemic, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't coming fast enough. And now my concern is that a lot of organizations that have, especially female leadership coming back in the middle management arena, they're not going to be as flexible. And that's one of the stigmas that women often face, is that they have to ask to leave to take care of their children or their family members. And facilities management, I don't think there's very few 9-to-5 jobs left, right? But facilities management, operations management is absolutely not a 9-to-5 job. You are committed, but we can be creative. There's technology today, and a good operations person can manage without physically being there 12 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day. So.
And it's interesting about what you mentioned about the flexibility, because we've been together when you've had like emergency calls. This started leaking, this issue happened.
So emergencies never happen when they're supposed to, right? We're not know when they're supposed to happen.
Hence the term emergency.
But they usually happen on holidays, after hours, just when you get out of the shower. During your children's recital, that's when emergencies have to happen. So building strong and effective teams and having those strong vendor relationships are key to your success in operations and facilities management. But one of the other factors that we're noticing too is that women on average, not only in facilities and operation management, but also in real estate management, make on the newer statistics showing that they make about $48,000 less than a man in the same position.
Yeah.
So not only are they not getting promoted at the same rate that their male counterparts are, but they're also being paid significantly less.
Wow.
Another concern as well is that women often, we take on a lot of thankless tasks often, and studies have shown that women are less likely to pass those off as they move up the ladder, right? They just kind of keep gathering and gathering and gathering more tasks, which is why it's so important that we have those strong female leaders, those mentors that you can talk to, right? To kind of help you navigate those stormy waters, right?
Absolutely. So, believe it or not, it's already time for a break.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it goes fast.
It does, super fast.
So we'll be back in a few short moments for more of our conversation with Maria O'Callaghan Cassidy. Welcome back to What the Why with host Barbara Ann and today's special guest, one of my ride or die best friends, Maria O'Callaghan Cassidy, who is also the chairperson of Women in Facilities Management, or WIFM.
Great.
And before we broke, we were talking about the disparities between promotion rates, women in leadership within facilities and operations management, doing the same work for significantly less dollars.
Yes.
And WIFM is doing its part to try and change that.
Absolutely. With, women leaders in facilities management coming in at about 23% across the board, which is an astonishing number given that the average, it's about 50% of the facilities workers in the United States are female, right? But yet only 23% are in leadership positions, and we're not talking about C-suite. We're talking pretty much management, upper middle management positions. So WIFM has a great story. It started back in 2007, 2008 with a local company in Dallas. It was promoted by and supported by Thomas Holland, who is the CEO of Apex Flooring.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and it's a family of interior solutions, commercial interior solutions. But the reason why he supported women in facilities management is because his first business partner was his mother. Okay. And he saw many of the challenges, and he had a strong female role model. And he really wanted to create an environment where women could get together and share best practices and share their struggles about moving forward and, you know, balancing work and life commitments. So from those small beginnings, like they kind of grew. And in 2017, we had our first international meeting.
Wow.
Which is really a national meeting through IFMA. And then we became a 501c3 organization, and and today, like I said, we've grown to 600 members, and we keep growing.
Okay. And what are some of the things that you're doing to encourage women and girls to move forward in this industry, or even consider this as a career option?
We're partnering with a lot of organizations to get the word out. We're also launching this mentorship program this summer with hopefully a national launch in the fall. So this is the beta site. But what we try to do is reach out to local organizations that also want to create a women in facilities management team, so that you can partner locally with other women leaders, right? And there's a lot of organizations that have come about in the last, I would say, decade that really are promoting females in the industry, including in the trades, which is another important aspect.
Yeah. So, fun fact for you, she's an amazing skeet shooter. We actually went with his commercial real estate
I wasn't great the first couple of times.
So there you go, a commercial real estate organization for women doing skeet shooting.
Yes,
it was fun. My husband was very jealous. We had an awesome time.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
All right. What are some myths? Well, let me reframe that. What do you think is one of the biggest myths about facilities and organization management?
I think that you have to be an engineer to be in a senior leadership role. Facilities and operational management, including real estate management, requires someone that's going to wear many hats, multitask. You need someone that's more of a generalist, that can flip from situation to situation, right? You have to be an active listener. You have to be innovative. The world has absolutely changed over the last couple of years, and I don't think we've landed where we're going to eventually be. So we have to be nimble, and these are all things that women do exceptionally well. So I would ask someone, if they're thinking about hiring a facilities manager, to think of a person that they would want to see in the role day in and day out, and speaking to your clients, speaking to your staff, and someone that could wear those many hats that's required for that role.
Awesome. And who would you say are your, maybe number one, number two top influences in terms of helping you on this journey?
Well, I think first and foremost it would be my grandmother. My grandmother immigrated to this country, and she was not given a lot of the opportunities that are afforded to us today, but at the same time she owned her own business. She was a manager. Maybe she didn't own it, but she managed a lot of different organizations. She put herself through nursing apprentice school at the time. So she was a trailblazer. She never learned to drive, and that was the first thing that she said to me. She goes, "You're going to college and you're learning to drive." And I said, "Yeah, okay, that's not a problem." But she also instilled with me a work ethic that, to be honest, to be loyal, and to do the best you can, right? And get up every day and be thankful, because if you have your health, you have everything. And there's nothing that's insurmountable as long as you have your health.
Yeah, she was an amazingly resilient person.
She really was, and that's a wonderful way to put it. And she taught me that resiliency. Absolutely.
Such a gift to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Obviously, I knew her grandmother. Amazing, and she loved my son's hair.
She did love your son's hair. That red hair, she couldn't get enough of that.
Unfortunately, she had another grandbaby. She had a grandbaby of her own, or great grandbaby, that has that curly red hair too.
But of course, you also are on that list of people that have shone light on paths that seemed dark at many times in my life, right?
And vice versa.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But there's also I've been blessed to have a lot of women in my life that have shown me that it's okay to be strong. It's okay to not win the popularity contest, right? Mm-hmm. And that it's okay to not be all things to all people.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think many women get caught up in, is that they want to please everyone. And it's okay to say no. And I think that that's something that you have to, as you start to climb up the ladder, it's okay to say no, because the more you take on, you have a greater responsibility, right?
Yeah, and I love that one of the ways you realized that taking care of yourself was so important was boxing.
Oh yeah.
How did you figure out boxing was it for you?
I stumbled onto it. My son wanted to take boxing classes, and I sat in there and watched him take boxing classes. I was like, I can do this. And so then I signed up for a couple of classes, and I fell in love with it. So it just kind of happened. And isn't that the way life is sometimes? It just kind of happens. So you always have to be present, so that you can accept what's coming your way, right?
Yes. Ready for whatever opportunity.
Whatever opportunity is there.
Yes. Eyes open wide, willing to take that leap and not be afraid.
That's exactly right. That's the beauty of life, right? That's the beauty of life.
Yeah. So I guess for parting words, because we're actually at the end.
Oh my goodness, this time went by way too fast. Way too fast.
I guess my last question will be, how did you find the courage to move forward in the face of so many obstacles in an industry so dominated by males?
It has to be, the resiliency my grandmother taught me, but it's also understanding your self-worth, which I think sometimes can get murky with all the pressures of just day-to-day life, let alone challenges that you might see. And you've got to have a little bit of that fight in you. I remember one of the first industry meetings I was in, I was one of two women in a room of 30-some people, and I would ask a question and they would answer to my boss, who was male at the time. Yeah. And I just kept moving my chair over until I was sitting right next to him, and I just kind of leaned over and said, so that they could look me in the eye when they're answering the question. It's like never losing that sense of humor. And so always look to mentors, and they don't have to be necessarily other women. Right, because I've had incredible male mentors as well that have helped guide me through my journey so far. So I'm open to learn, and I think that I would say that to anyone that's coming up in industry: be open to learn and listen, and not, just because somebody says something doesn't make it true.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But you should still
Very
listen.
much so.
You should still listen. So
listen, but don't necessarily embody.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Words to live by. So thank you so much.
Thank you for
being on the show today. You're actually going to be seeing Maria again in the next couple of weeks for reasons you'll have to wait and find out about the week after Memorial Day. Our guest next week is Joanne Morgano. Now, Maria, before I tell them a little bit about Joanne, how can people reach you?
You can reach me through my LinkedIn page, and I would encourage everyone to go check out the WIFM website, which is GoWIFM, GOWIFM.org.
Okay, so LinkedIn, with a name like Maria O'Callahan Cassidy,
there's only one. There's only one. I've checked.
And WIFM, www.wifm.org.
Well, let me just double check my notes, because I don't want to get that wrong. So okay. It is GoWIFM, GOWIFM.org. I was right the first time.
Awesome.
Yep.
So I was the one who messed up. So thank you again, Maria, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Our guest next week is Joanne Morgano. As I mentioned, if you know the name, it's because she has her own show on the network. Joanne is a financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial and the Laurel Oak Wealth Management Group. But she also co-hosts RVN Television show, It's Your Money with Joanne and Martin. As a wealth of financial information, pun intended, Joanne is joining us on What the Why for a conversation about how she found her purpose in helping people, especially women, achieve their financial goals through access to knowledge and tools, and her ongoing efforts to diversify common theme, the financial services industry.
Oh, wow. Great.
So you really don't want to miss out on what Joanne or any of the leaders who will be sharing their journeys in the upcoming episodes have to say. As a reminder, What the Why airs at 1 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and again on Mondays at 3:30 p.m., and that's all Eastern Daylight Time. It's also available on demand through RVN Television and Roku. So whether you're looking to make changes in your life or career, big or small, please join us again for more inspirational and informative conversations with people who wanted to make changes in their life, like Maria, and overcame their fears and obstacles, especially with boxing, like Maria, to find their core purpose and live it.